Fox News alert on a dramatic development in the debate over Second Amendment rights. California Senator Dianne Feinstein today unveiling a new assault weapons ban, her proposal, that is tougher and much farther reaching than anything we have seen before. Welcome to America Live, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. Listen to this. We're just getting now a word on the details of the Feinstein proposal. It is riding a wave of support following the school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. But it faces significant opposition from Second Amendment supporters on the left and the right. Listen to the senator earlier today.
I'm also incensed that our weak gun laws allow these mass killings to be carried out again and again and again in our country. Weapons designed originally for the military to kill large numbers of people in close combat are replicated for civilian use. Today, my colleagues and I are introducing a bill to prohibit the sale, transfer, manufacture, and importation of assault weapons and large-capacity ammunition feeding devices that can accept more than 10 rounds.
But that is not all by a long shot. Shannon Bream joins us live now from Washington. Shannon?
Well, Megyn, she acknowledges it is going to be an uphill battle, but here's what Senator Dianne Feinstein is fighting for. This new measure would ban the sale and transfer of roughly 150 different guns, including rifles, shotguns, handguns, specific ones, and also lower the criteria for classifying something as an assault weapon. There would be numerous bans on various high-capacity magazines and beefed-up background checks, not only on the sale and transfer of guns, but according to Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, also for the sale of ammunition, including his proposal that retailers would have to report anyone who buys a certain amount of ammunition to law enforcement authorities. The backers of this bill say it does nothing to chip away at legitimate Second Amendment rights.
We have tried to recognize the right of a citizen to legally possess a weapon. No weapon is taken from anyone. The purpose is to dry up the supply of these weapons over time. Therefore, there is no sunset on this bill.
A number of participants in today's press conference said repeatedly that if this measure was already law, the children in the Newtown massacre would likely still be alive. But a lot of folks disagree with that, noting that just about every action the shooter took leading up to and including that day was already banned by current law. An NRA spokesman told me the organization is all for better enforcement of what's already on the books, saying you can't make something more illegal than it already is. Also, questioning the need for a database of legally owned guns, telling me this, quote, there is no need for a registry of law-abiding gun owners. Though the measure pulls together a number of things President Obama has proposed, it could put Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid in a tough position. A longtime gun rights advocate, Reid has signaled he may allow a measure like this one to actually go to a vote, but with a very liberal amendments process, which could wind up watering it down before it would ever get over to the House. Megyn.
And now we have the full force of the president's re-election team, no less, out there pushing for support for this and other measures that are backed by the White House. And they are targeting Democratic lawmakers in particular who are not on board yet with the Dianne Feinstein proposal, but they would like them to be, so anything could happen. I want to ask you about something we saw earlier when Dianne Feinstein unveiled this proposal. She had props. She had, these pictures of these guns. They look like pretty serious weapons. There are no handguns or rifles there, correct?
Well, you know what? We actually just got a listing of the specific weapons that were there from Chad Program. You know him, our track senior Capitol Hill producer. He was able to get us a list of the weapons, and it does seem to include some handguns and rifles and shotguns, although primarily what you could see in these shots were not those guns, the small handguns and those kinds of things. So what you could easily see at the press conference was something that would be judged to be, more readily viewed as an assault weapon because of some of the physical characteristics of the gun. But as I noted here, this law that Feinstein is now proposing would actually lower the threshold for how you'd look at a gun and decide it had enough characteristics. In this case now, under her law, it would be one physical characteristic, which would then get the gun classified as an assault weapon.
So you're saying any handgun that can accept a detachable magazine and has one military characteristic, she wants to ban?
Yeah, basically, there are so many technicalities here, but, to look at the technical language here, something is judged to be an assault weapon if it can have a folding or telescopic stock, a pistol grip, a bayonet mount, a flash suppressor, or a grenade launcher, which I don't know that I've ever physically seen a gun with one of those. But if it has one characteristic versus in the past when it would have to have multiple characteristics, this new law would actually be tougher than the assault weapons ban that we saw back in the early 90s, Megan.
It would be significantly tougher. All right, Shannon, thank you. We're going to have a fair and balanced debate about this. And, right now they say they don't have the votes for this in the Senate, in the Democratic-controlled Senate. That doesn't mean the thing is going to go nowhere. I mean, when you put together Jim Messina and David Axelrod and Stephanie Cutter, the people who helped get Barack Obama elected twice, and say, now we want this passed, which is what's happening, anything can happen. Is that a good thing or not? We're going to have a fair and balanced debate on this legislation and what it would do if passed, coming up in just a bit right here.